Hey everyone! Are we ready for chapter 12? I don't know if I'm ready. This is how we left off chapter 11 yesterday. Remember, Tiffany and Annabelle are back home. Actually, it was a pretty smooth transition to get back home. A little bit easier than I expected with the two of them. They're back home. They were explaining to their whole family everything, and all of a sudden, they hear this voice say, they heard a noise, and so they started going back to their places where the Kate had left them, and so they're like, hurry, everybody hide, someone's coming. And Mimi says, oh, there's no need for that, it's just me. And she's there. What is she up to? All right, chapter 12 is called Who's Sorry Now? Ugh, shrieked Annabelle, and Tiffany cried, it's mean Mimi, just as Annabelle exclaimed, it's Princess Mimi. The sparkly figure trotted across the rug. The sight of Mimi flitting through Kate Palmer's bedroom in her lavender clothes made Annabelle's knees buckle, and she had to sit down. Because remember, they just got through telling their whole doll family and Mom Funcraft how awful she is and how she really is like a menace to all doll kind. And now she's here. The last time she had seen her, Mimi had been angry. Angry because she realized she could no longer control the dolls at BJ's house, and Annabelle had felt a teeny bit better knowing that Melody and the others would no longer be bullied. But what was it Waterfall had said? That the other dolls had no control over Mimi? Yes, and that because she was reckless, she was still a menace to all doll kind. And now here she was, the menace, in Annabelle's very home. Annabelle gripped Tiffany's arm and waited for Mimi to break something or tear something, to do anything that would later distract Kate's attention, but Mimi only hurried to the bottom of the stool, climbed up the steps as if she'd been doing it for years. And by the time she had reached the doll's house, however, Annabelle saw that tears were brimming in her eyes. Look at her face. What do you notice about her eyes there? That she's been crying. Suspicious of this. Are you the dolls? Asked Mimi timidly. Annabelle, her family, Tiffany, and Mom Funcraft had gathered uncertainly at the front of the house, Uncle Doll and Nanny hovering behind the others. Yes, said Papa. Are you Princess Mimi? I am, she replied formally. Princess Mimi, the small and the meek. Annabelle frowned. The small and the meek? Where had she heard that before? Oh, yes, in The Wizard of Oz, a movie Annabelle had seen in its entirety one night when Kate was having a sleepover downstairs in the living room. Dorothy, trying to convince the wizard that she was not a threat, had introduced herself to him as Dorothy, the small and the meek. Annabelle glanced at Tiffany. The small and meek? She whispered disdainfully, and Tiffany made a face. What are you doing here? Auntie Sarah asked Mimi suspiciously. And how did you get here? Did you follow Annabelle and Tiffany? Mimi nodded, and Annabelle noticed that she appeared to just barely be able to keep her tears from overflowing and running down her plastic cheeks. Yes, said Mimi. I climbed into BJ's backpack after they did. I hid in a different compartment, and today in school I followed them to the other backpack. Maybe I shouldn't have, but... I'll say she shouldn't have, Tiffany whispered. But I need a new home. And Tiffany and Annabelle talked about theirs, and it sounded so wonderful with grown-ups and all. Why do you need a new home? Asked Mom Funcraft. Because nobody likes me at Callie's house. The other dolls are all mean to me. They tease me and gang up on me, and I didn't do anything, she wailed. Not anything at all. Then why are they mean to you? Asked Bobby. Good question, thought Annabelle. I don't know, Mimi began to sob. They just are. Maybe they're jealous that I'm a princess and I have such beautiful clothes, or maybe because I don't have a mom or a dad, I'm an orphan. The PJ Party Pals and the Troll Twins and the Cutouts don't have parents either, pointed out Tiffany. But they have each other, said Mimi, sniffing loudly. I have no one. Poor little girl, Mama murmured. No home, no family. Yes, poor little girl, said Papa. Auntie Sarah pursed her lips together and glanced sharply from Mimi to Annabelle and Tiffany. You must stay with us for the time being, Mama said kindly to Mimi. What? Cried Annabelle. What? Cried Tiffany. Girls, manners, said Nanny softly. But, spluttered Tiffany, didn't you hear what we said before? Mimi was putting Callie's dolls in jeopardy. She was putting all dolls in jeopardy, doing things that couldn't be fixed. There's a little picture of her crying while she's acting pitiful. What do you think? Are you buying it? Is this real? Is she just putting on the glitz for these people? Mimi covered her eyes with her hands and sobbed more loudly than ever. See, this is just what I was talking about. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. They say I'm a horrible person, but I'm not. That's Mama Doll. That's Annabelle's mom. I think she believes her. Mean Mimi crumpled to a little heap by the top step of the stool. Annabelle looked down in horror as her own mother knelt beside Mimi and put her arms around her. But Auntie Sarah said, Mimi will have to stay with us, that's true. We must hide her. We can't let Kate discover a strange doll here. That's far too risky. A home at last, said Mimi from the floor. A hiding place, said Auntie Sarah firmly. That is all. For heaven's sake, muttered Papa. We'll discuss this later, said Auntie Sarah. Tonight, when the Palmers are asleep. We'll have to come up with a permanent solution. Oh, anything, exclaimed Mimi. Just don't make me go back to Callie's room. We'll see, said Auntie Sarah. For now, I wonder where we could hide you. Mean Mimi was bigger than Annabelle and Tiffany, but she wasn't any bigger than Baby Betsy. Annabelle tried to think of the places in her house in which Baby Betsy could fit. There weren't many. But Nora had once managed to stuff Baby Betsy underneath Mama and Papa's high bed. Let's stick her under your bed, said Annabelle to her parents. Mean Mimi wrinkled her nose. Isn't there any place else? Asked Mama, looking sympathetically at Mimi. Why can't I just sit somewhere? Asked Mimi. In plain view? Said Auntie Sarah. Because Kate will see you, that's why, and she'll want to know where you came from. She'll be suspicious. I suppose she could hide somewhere in Kate's room, said Nanny. We'll have to choose a place where Kate doesn't go very often, said Papa. Very often, repeated Mimi. How long am I going to hide? For heaven's sakes, let's stop talking about this and just do something, said Mom Funcraft. Mimi, dear, why don't you go sit in the Barbie camper? You'll be safe there. Said Uncle Doll, who had once run away to the camper and didn't like to be reminded of it. Mimi's eyes filled with tears once more. Why are you kicking me out? I don't understand. Don't you want me? From the hallway came the sound of voices. Mom? That's Kate, Annabelle whispered loudly. She's back from my Aunt's house. The Palmers must be home, too. Hi, honey, said Miss Palmer. Dinner in half an hour. How much homework do you have tonight? I have to study my spelling words, Kate replied. Well, why don't you do that now? I'll call you when dinner's ready. Papa Doll looked as though he were about to faint. Places, everyone! Places right now! But Mimi isn't, Annabelle cried. No time, said Uncle Doll with a gasp. In a flash, Mama sat down on the kitchen chair. So there's Mama back in her spot on the kitchen chair. Papa, Bobby, and Mom Funcraft threw themselves into the parlor floor. Uncle Doll and Auntie Sarah arranged themselves in their bedroom, and Nanny stood stiffly beside Baby Betsy, who was still seated where Kate had just left her. Annabelle and Tiffany, who didn't know where they were supposed to be, joined the heap of dolls in the parlor. Hide, Tiffany said desperately to Mean Mimi. Anywhere, just hide, now. Annabelle, at the top of the heap of dolls, rolled over a teensy bit so that she could look into Kate's room. She glanced from Mean Mimi, still standing at the top step of the stool, to the doorway, waiting to see Kate. Go! Cried Tiffany. And Mimi disappeared from view as she scrambled back down the stool. Annabelle could see the top of the Barbie camper, and she expected the door to open, then shut, as Mimi rushed in. But the door remained closed. Annabelle heard footsteps in the hall, heard Kate say, Not now, Nora. I have to look at my spelling words. We're going to have a quiz tomorrow. She's right down the hall, exclaimed Annabelle. And that was when she saw Mean Mimi run lightly across Kate's room and out into the Palmer's house. So she didn't go to the Barbie camper like she was told to. She didn't go hide somewhere like she was told to. She ran out of Kate's room, and she's just roaming free in the house right now with the whole Palmer family at home. Yeah, I'm not buying that sad story. What about you guys? I think that she's still kind of a menace and that she has some sort of a plan. But I don't know. We will see. Tomorrow is Friday, and I'll read you guys chapter 13, which is the Queen of Mean. This is the Queen of Mean. So we'll read 13 tomorrow. And then 14 on Monday. I'm trying to see how many we have left. 15 on Tuesday. 16 on Wednesday. 17 on Thursday. And 18 on Friday. I think that's it. Yep, there's 18 chapters. So we will finish this book next Friday, a week from tomorrow. And you guys can take the AR quiz on and get you some points, okay? All right, chapter 13 tomorrow, the Queen of Mean. See what Mimi's up to. I'm a little nervous about her going out into the house like that, but we'll see. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.